Now comes an extremely hard part for me. This is one part I absolutely hate about these little motors. Very simple thing that looks very easy. What we have here is a crankshaft on the right hand side, and we have the pulley flywheel. The problem with the flywheel is it's got a whole bunch of really nice weights, magnets in there, and these magnets, when I get close to these magnet receptors, I don't know what they're called, I forgot, so I'll just call them magnet receptors, that pulls the wheel all different ways, and I have to get this little teeny tiny slot, right? I didn't say slot. To go right on this keyway. Now, in my last few videos, the gentleman asked me if I could add a little bit more humor in my videos. So I thought about that for a while. I've come up with a good joke. Even though I'm not a comedian, I'll try and say this correctly. And remember, if you don't like it, I'm really kind of old and I don't give a shit. So here goes. Now, back in the day, when the British had an empire, could have been any empire, but let's say the British Empire, because they did a lot of this, made a lot of movies about this. There was a British warship, and it was out looking for other lands to capture and nice people to meet and things like that. And they always ran across some faraway place with a bunch of natives on it. And this happens to be one of them. This poor guy was shipwrecked off a British fleet, and he landed on this deserted island. He thought it was deserted. And he's looking around. He just doesn't know what to do. And all of a sudden he hears this whoosh sound. And he turns around and there's this giant spear stuck right at his feet in the ground. And he goes, uh-oh. So he looks at the spear for a minute. And then he looks up and he looks across the way. And about 40 feet from him are about 20 of these really mean looking natives, and they all got spears and they all look like they want to kill him. So he raises his hands to heaven and he says, "Oh God, I'm fucked." And the moment he said that, everything went blank, everything went silent, and he heard this voice from the heavens saying, "Hold everything. This is God. You're not fucked until I say you are. Now here, this is what you got to do." He goes, the voice says, "You see that big spear on the ground right there? Pick that spear up, okay? And take that spear, and you see that big native standing right over there? The biggest native right in front. It's looking the biggest, the meanest asshole you've ever seen in your life. Take that spear, pick it up, and you throw it as hard as you can right into his chest. That's what you got to do." So the guy says, "Oh my God, I'm saved, I'm saved." He picks up the spear. He picks it up, he holds it. He roars back with his hand. He looks directly at that large native and throws it as hard as he can. And that spear went true to form. It flew straight as an arrow right into that huge native's chest, and the native fell over absolutely dead. The other natives standing around just were staring and looking at the British guy. And then the British guy goes, "Well, now what?" And he hears a voice from above again, and the voice is God. And God says, "Did you see that that really big native that you threw that spear right into his chest?" And the British guy goes, "Yeah. I threw it, just like you told me, I threw it right in his chest." Well, let me tell you something. That native that you just killed was their most revered, special leader that the tribe has ever had in 2,000 years. Now you're fucked. I hope you like that joke. I gotta do more of those. I like that one. I heard that one a while back. Anyway, back to my motor. So I've got to get this on here, and the piston should do pretty well. This copper spray stuff is really, it's different than anything I've ever used. It comes out like a gold modeling paint, but it dries almost instantly. And of course, see, I use my little cups like this, and I throw them away if I'm done. This one has, you can either put xylene or cleaner or whatever. You just take your little Q-tip and clean up what you need to clean up, and then throw it away and get another one. And it's pinpoint accuracy. It's kind of like a paintbrush, but real cheap. So anyway, if you like that joke and you want to hear some more humor, I'll come up with some really good jokes. But I tell them the way they are, and I try and make them funny. But I don't really give a damn about race, nationality, or any of that stuff. As long as it's funny, that's all I like. All right, we're building the 120cc monster.